It looks like we got lucky on this one here. This is the left one. I already took the spring out of it. And just trying to break it loose. And it looks like I got the damper red. It's coming right out. And it is coming out, so put a little pressure on it like that right there. I just heard the tube drop, so that's good. It actually came out of the tube there. And I'll show you that in a minute. We're just going to flip it back over here. Take the cap back out. And that's our tube right there. Slides right out. That's what the bolt threads into. The damper rod, and what will happen with a lot of times no spring pressure on there, this thing will just spin inside of there, and you use an impact or whatever to get it off, and it'll just spin and spin and spin. What you can do on these, if it's spinning, basically put the spring back in there before you even try and break them loose. Just leave the bike on the ground with the front wheel still on, and try and break them loose with a little bit of weight on it. It helps to hold the tube. That's your damper rod. You got a couple holes in here. You got your rebound holes and your compression holes, one on each side. I'm not taking this all the way off here yet. And maybe I will, so I can look at the tube and clean it real good and make sure there ain't no sludge in there. Slides off there. And you should be able to drop it out. That's your damper rod tube. All this thing off really good before we put it back in there. I can feel it's got some grit or something on there. Dirt, grit, whatever. So we're going to clean that off. Clean the fork tube out real good, and we'll clean the spring too. Make sure your top out spring's in there. Right there. And check these. Check your damper rods, little piston spring right there. It's just a little fiber spring on there. That's that one. Like I said before, look at your springs real good. If you have uneven spacing on the spring, or they're like really sometimes pulling out of there and they're actually bent like that, if it's got bends in it all, replace it. If I was going to keep this bike, I'd probably replace them. Well, I'd do a lot of things to it. I'd probably do the Race Tech cartridge emulators in there with a set of Race Tech springs, just to get the damping where I wanted it. But we're just doing fork seals and heavier fluid. See where that takes us. All right, that's it for that. Let's pop these seals out of here. Seals can sometimes be a pain in the butt to get out of here. Now these particular ones on this Beamer, they don't use any clips in them, and they don't have any bushings on the tubes here. Some bikes will have indents in the tubes here that have bushings in them. Like they'll have like one at the top here, one that's in the fork and then one that's on the tube there. So you need to check those out. They're usually like copper looking material with like a gray coating on them, which is basically a Teflon. So to get these seals out, we're just going to use a seal cord, or I'm using the crow's foot, because I keep the crow's foot in there. And this one I already had loose, so came right out. That's your fork seal. And if you're doing, if you're doing both forks, you can try and keep everything separated a little bit, so you know which one goes with what stuff. Just separate them. So like this is the left fork, so try and keep left fork, right fork as far as the internals go. And that's it for that seal. So that's it for disassembling and inspecting the forks there. Of course, you want to look at your tubes really good. Make sure you don't have any wear on them, especially on where the seal rods. No burrs, no rough spots, none of that. This one actually looks pretty decent for being as old as it is. A lot of times you get them and they got rust pits all over them, or some of them where the rods in the tube there, it'll have a wear mark on it. And most of the times you can polish that out with Scotch-Brite, like an ultra fine gray Scotch-Brite. If it's got any nicks on it, you can usually polish the nicks out with a stone, followed by Scotch-Brite. We're looking pretty good right there. So that's pretty much it for disassembling and inspecting the forks there. You'll want to check everything over, make sure everything's really clean. And I'll have to pick up some PVC, because I'm definitely going to pack these springs in these things. At least another probably 2 inches maybe. Not maybe, I'll do 2 inches to start with. All right, that's it for this one.